Your original hometown dealer, Saida, Trudeau Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram.
So we're having a community gathering to explain and reintroduce the concept of a dementia-friendly Pahrump. And in doing so, we wanted to engage community stakeholders and partners and community members to bring awareness to the issue of dementia, to open the conversation with the community. There are over 100 forms of diseases that fall under this umbrella of dementia or senile degeneration of the brain. There are medications available if you find the appropriate diagnosis and physician, which we are lacking in Nevada, but there are some really good primary care physicians and geriatricians available around. And with those medications and advancements, we find that individuals who receive a diagnosis of dementia, of course it's individual, but they may live 10, 20 years with the disease with appropriate supports in place. And that's contrary to what many of us grew up thinking of dementia. One of our goals is to help people to put in place those support systems that as they age may be available to them to provide different insight into where they do need to go to find the supports. And again, part of the Dementia Friendly Pahrump goal is to get those folks who may notice dementia coming, the onset of some issue related to dementia, like if you have a hairdressing salon, or if you have you work in a grocery store or a bank, where people are typically seen more frequently, and you realize changes in someone's mentation, memory, ability to cope, ability to remember how to swipe a credit card. That's where we want people to be able to say, hey, there may be an issue coming on here. Maybe you want to talk to your primary care doctor because this is what I'm seeing. But we can't do that without knowing and having the education of how to approach those issues. With any disease, of course, early treatment is better. And the earlier the medications, the new ones that are on the market, get introduced to an individual, the longer they retain memory and function and cognition. I do know that the Cleveland Clinic has some clinical trials going on in some healthy brains, and so absolutely do not hesitate to reach out to Lou Ruvo Cleveland Clinic, and you might be surprised at what's out there. I would strongly say to first look at home if there are things like, again, the Cleveland Clinic with Healthy Brains. And then if you need to go out of state, of course, I know California, UCLA has some excellent resources as well. A lot of our primary care physicians, of course, this isn't a specialization that they have. And there are times when you be given a cognition exam, which generally lasts 5 to 10 minutes. If you have been given one of those and possibly received a diagnosis of dementia, please know you are within your rights to request a second opinion. So I know that as each of us go to see our different providers, it can seem like a rush in and out of the office, but you are within your rights. Please feel empowered to ask the questions, and if it's going a little fast for you, ask for a follow-up visit or ask for a second opinion. I think one of the other goals that I would have personally is to empower patients and people to advocate for themselves a little stronger, because doctors receive a lot of education on a lot of systems, but they're not specialists always. And so don't be afraid to ask the question. I know in hospice, the one thing we absolutely know is you have one life. And you need to feel that you can advocate for yourself to have the best one life you have.